Hello. Well, following on from yesterday's video, or the video that I shot yesterday, I'll continue what I'm saying and I'll continue with the books. But let's just talk a minute about this. You see, I've always drawn right from year dot. When I was a child, way before I could hold pencils, I was asking my parents to draw anything that I could, and I wanted them to draw it, and I got frustrated that they weren't drawing it right. The moment I started picking up pencils, I was copying everything that I could. I was drawing from comics and cartoons, and I was drawing my toys, and I was even drawing old masters that were in encyclopedias. Nothing would stop me, and nothing was too much of a challenge. Yeah, I'd get frustrated that I'd draw a person and the nose wasn't right, or that kind of thing. I started drawing birds, and I like drawing birds, but the thing is, if you're drawing nature, any kind of nature, really all you've drawn is a bird. And whether that is a bird or a tiger or a flower or anything like that, the world isn't going to notice you. Everyone's drawing the same thing. So when I left school, I was doing artwork, not to this level obviously. I'm self-taught, but I had the careers officer laugh in my face when I said I wanted to do something with artwork. I wanted to work on film, but I didn't tell him that. And I had the art teacher say I'd be nothing but a 2-bit artist, which is a really good thing to start you off on life. So I started drawing and creating. Now, I knew that copying artwork, technically this is copying, but copying artwork is not going to get you anywhere. If you take it to the modern day, drawing a Pokemon character, those characters are owned by Game Freak and they're linked to Nintendo. So if you are drawing a Pokemon character, it never becomes canon unless you work for that company. You've got to expand. So I started drawing and creating toys and video games, and I was writing film scripts, and I was doing cartoons, and I was doing everything that I could. But what I was getting was no. And I still get that. I still get rejection. This is the days before social media. These are way before social media happened. So, let's cut a long story short and go into social media when it started. You get MySpace. I remember that coming out, and I did join it, and I hadn't got a clue how it worked. And then I went over to Facebook. When pretty much that started, I was on Facebook maybe around 2008, 10-ish. And I started making a bit of connections. Not many, but I was making some connections. Now at that time, 2008, 10-ish, I was developing a cartoon series. And it reached the final stages. It failed on lack of financing. A lot of projects fail on lack of financing. They fail at the last hurdle. And what hit worse than that was I had some friends, or I thought they were friends, who were just really good people. And the moment that the cartoon ended, it took them 6 months to dump me like a hot potato. And these are local people. Didn't matter that I was doing this. I crashed when the cartoon happened. I had a nervous breakdown crash when that failed. And I still have these scripts and characters that I developed over 4 years. And somehow I've got to find a publisher. Somehow I've got to find a team that will create the characters and make them real. I can't show those cartoons on here. If I show the cartoons on here, somebody's going to nick them. And that's the thing about social media, that you come up with a style and everyone and the grandmother will do the same style in less than a second. Because they want the likes as well. So you join Facebook, and it was a different world back then. It was people driven. It wasn't corporate, and it certainly wasn't AI rubbish. And all I was doing was just drawing. Just trying to get noticed. The idea was to do these portraits and have people go, we like you and we're interested in you, and build up a little bit of a connection, go to conventions, meet people and show the artwork to them, maybe get a table and build up your career. Now, the thing is, we're in this world now where you've got to have multi-followers before even a company will take notice of you. I know of actors who haven't got a part because they haven't got multi-thousand followers on Instagram. It's wrong. If you look at how things were when Phil Lynott was working, when he was alive, and Ozzy and Black Sabbath and all of the bands of the 70s and 60s, it was talent-led. Yeah, there were a few people who they weren't as talented, but it was talent-led. They had a skill. They could play musical instruments. Now it's sort of equated to... imagine you're at school. Imagine the time you're at school. And you can do something spectacular. But it takes a time to do it. Meanwhile, there's an idiot who eats worms or paint chips from the radiator who does things for a laugh. There's someone who just is loud and brash and stupid, but he gets attention. He gets louder attention than somebody who takes time to do this. I mean, this has been going on for a week and I haven't even come close to finishing. And, oh, my ride's here. Alarms and sirens. So, when you do the artwork, you have to show it. But people either don't know or don't care that you're alive. And you become hit in a world of silence. And then we will go to... let's go to this is where I am at the moment with Phil Lynott. There's a lot to do and I could get caught up doing this. So let's put this away and I'll show you the white book, the clear book. So I'm just moving my pencils. So I go to these conventions and I meet these people and I show them online. And I have stories about going to conventions. Now, the thing about the conventions, yes, I've met Sam J. Jones as Flash Gordon. I've met Flash Gordon. I met Toya a couple of times. Got to do another Toya. But you show these on social media and people go, yeah, I like that, but they don't say anything. And you end up dead in the water. So you then start getting, on Facebook especially, you get something called Boost Post, which means we want you to pay or die. It's like an episode of The A-Team where this person gets a racketeer. He opens up a shop and there's a company saying, hey, you need to pay us money, and they fleece them out of all the money and they can't make a profit, and the A-Team come along and kick their butts. That kind of thing. It's like that. You pay to be seen. And it's a world where you can pay, well, you're asked to pay something around £28-45 per post. And I tried it for a year. So I did these pictures and I just paid for this. Did I get anything? Did I buggery? I didn't get anything. No one talked. I had some nutters. I blocked a load of people. And I finished in a year and thought that's a bit stupid. But the problem I've got is, if there's billions of people in the world, I mean, I was hated for this. I had literally hated for drawing Whoopi Goldberg. I just saw her as a comedian. But you have all these people, billions of people in the world. How come I can only find 12 and one crazy cat lady? And I'm still finding the people from school days. And I don't want to. I want to spread my wings. And you put things on Instagram. You put things like this on Instagram. And you're always stuck to the phone. And if you're stuck on the phone constantly, watching videos and reading things and whatever, what else are you doing? You've got to be on the phone all the time, liking everything. And they want you on there all the time. I don't want to be on social media all the time. And to be honest, I've got to the point now where, because everyone's using a mobile phone, I've taken to reading books. It's an act of defiance. So I read books on the bus. At the moment I'm reading Mel Brooks's autobiography. And I don't know how the world is going to change for the better when we're not progressing. If you look at the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, that's only 20 years. In the 1960 to let's say 1989, there was a huge change in media, in creation. You had the 50s rock and roll, and then you get to the 60s. Look at the fashions of the 60s. And then look at the fashions of the 70s and the fashions of the 80s. There's a definite difference. This is 80s. I like Eurythmics. That's the 80s. Now cut to the same period between 2000 and when I'm shooting this at 2026. Look at videos from 2000 and go to 2026. That's 26 years. They look the same. A lot of things look the same. A lot of designs look the same. They're multiple influenced. They're 70s influenced. They're 80s influenced. We're not progressing. And now that we're on mobile phones and AI rubbish and that kind of thing, I can't see things changing because all we're seeing is what has been recorded. And frankly, because I love guitars and loud rock music, that world isn't around now. If you look at how when I grew up in the early 70s. In 72 there was glam rock, soul, the end of the hippie era. I remember hearing Starman for the first time, and Slade and Sweet and Wizard, and Piano Man came out very soon after I was born. And then you had disco. I saw the birth and death of disco. You look at Studio 54. How cool was Studio 54? You couldn't get in, but Studio 54 was cool. You look at the 80s, and there was glamour in the 80s as well as the 70s. Then I get to the 90s, and suddenly it's my time to go out. And what is around in the 90s? Grunge. A lot of the supporters looked like they needed a good wash. Holy jumpers and ripped things, and I was never a fan of grunge. But that was my out. That was what I had to do. Or club music with more samples than a urine clinic. And now, well, I used to watch Top of the Pops, and I muted. There you are, there's the detail on that. I used to mute Top of the Pops through the songs. And I thought, I've had enough of this. And I didn't play music for ages. I didn't play any chart music for ages. And I just thought, you're a fool. Why don't you buy back catalogue? Buy back catalogue and just get what you want. So that's what I've done. I bought the albums. I was buying vinyl when vinyl wasn't popular, when they said it was dead. And I bought a load of rock music and things that I couldn't get hold of back then. By the way, this took 40 days. So I was buying all this music. There you are. I was buying all this music and just really enjoying it. I loved vinyl. I've always loved vinyl. But at the time, vinyl had back catalogue and no modern music was on it. And now, modern music is on it, and I'm thinking of going to 8-track. That's how I feel about the modern day. And yeah, I don't think it's going to change. I'm analog. I like drawing analog. I like playing analog. I'm happier with the CRT and SCART leads, and I've got a good collection of video games going right back to the Atari 2600 originals. And the Commodore, I've got a load of Commodore games and a load of Master System games. I could show these when I can get the setup. But the one thing that's missing is I can't play gun games, can I? Because the world has said you're not allowed to CRT. And to be honest, well, I'd rather have the past. Now, with silent movies, I've started drawing silent stars. Zita Johann isn't a silent star, she was in The Mummy. This is from The Mummy, one of my favourite Universal movies. I started drawing silent stars because the world made me silent. People stopped talking. And that's where I am at the moment. So I do something like this Phil Lynott picture or any of these, and between them I'm not getting anything. No one's talking, no one's saying anything. And then when I put them on, it's awesome, good one that, and it just feels empty. There's got to be something different, something better. See, I love Clara Bow. I absolutely love Clara Bow. If you read David Stern's book, Running Wild, you will as well. And I mean, this took 29 days to draw by hand. The background took longer than the rest of it because it's all in relief. Let me just take this out. There you go. There. And yeah, this is Carl Emley with a lot of his creations behind him. Again, hand drawn with these and music. And where I am now is, and I'm going to have to finish this, is I've got the feeling that if I keep putting these onto Facebook, I'm not going to get anywhere. I'm not going to get anywhere, I'm not going to do anything, and I'm just going to have the same people talking, and I'm showing it to a handful of people who, well, to be honest, some of them want cleavage, and I'm a bit tired of it. So we'll finish on this book and I'll continue drawing, and I've got to go out and I will do some more videos. There's a couple of books to show you, but I will do more videos. Oh, by the way, I did Texas Chainsaw Massacre because of the masks in 2020. Yeah. I've got an element of defiance. So I will continue doing these videos. They will have to be raw footage because I don't know how to edit. You give me a splicing machine and a moviola and tape and I may be able to do it, but I've got no idea how to digitally splice and I haven't got any connection to tell me how to do it. So it's going to be raw footage as part 1, part 2, part 3, but I'm moving away from Facebook because I've had enough. I've had enough of everything and I've had enough of the AI. When you do this by hand, AI is your enemy. When you listen to music like this, AI is your enemy. So, that's that video over. Somehow I've got to put them on. And, yeah, I'm drawing kneeling at a bed and people are jealous of me. And they don't talk. So I will end this video here. And I will show you more about the pictures and what I'm doing later on. But this is where I am at the moment. And there's a whole load of other line work and drawing. And I've got to get it looking like that. It's an effort. And I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.